Alright, so welcome back to the Golden League to round 3 grand final. We got Marine Lord here, the second Chinese pick of the series, and Beastie on Marlians. Right now, Marine Lord up 3-2 in this best of 7 series, having picked two. Well, this is his second Chinese pick. He's picked Marlians twice and Rus twice. Beastie picking Marlians every game so far. Players going for early docks. We're here on Dry River, so we've got 6 schools of fish. I mean 6 different ponds with schools of fish, all shoreline fish, no deep water fish. So I'll be eager to see if there is any early commitment to barracks here, or if both players are just going to try and boom up as much as possible, getting, you know, as many fishing boats out as they can, committing even to a second dock if they so feel like it. Man, this pond looks awfully tiny. Like, where are you supposed to actually dock there? If you put a dock down, I think you're going to destroy 4 out of 5 of those schools, whereas, you know, these other ponds here, a little bit larger, you're only going to destroy 1 or 2 ponds, 1 or 2 schools of fish when you throw down the dock. Don't know if you'll actually fit it there because of the sacred site, clipping with the edge of the river. Yeah, guys, it's been a pretty back and forth of a series so far. A lot of the games have been really cutthroat, quite short games, with a long game or two sprinkled in so far. I have a feeling this one won't just be a hard and fast bloodbath like some of the other games in the series have been. Why did that villager say that? That's Beastie's catchphrase. That's not one of Beastie's villagers. Maybe it's a spy. Our players really just cramming out as many fishing boats as they can on their single dock production so far, and Beastie gonna get that pit mine, do away with the need to actually gather any gold with his villagers, while Marine Lord obviously gonna have to go for one of these pit mines. I mean, go for one of these gold veins and actually gather from it with villagers. Not just being lazy and generate it out of thin air. Man, the golden ram's such a cool icon. While Marine Lord's just got the boring old gong there in the center of his town center. It'd be cool if when you garrison villages or, well, anything in the town center, you saw them like pop up on the edges of the building with a bow. But then I suppose the annoying thing is, you know, because they're garrison, you know, you wouldn't be able to kill them, whereas stuff on the edge of a wall, obviously you can focus it down still, as long as you've got range. So Marine Lord committing to an early barracks here. Beastie just looking to try and get a pit mine out. And also put a outpost. Oh, he's actually got a Donso of his own. So, here's his barracks. So both our players, early barracks. And trying to go for a forward outpost just to really ruin their opponent's fishing eco here. Beastie committing 2 villagers to this. I believe Marine Lord's actually just gone for a couple of extra scouts. Should be able to just garrison there and start tearing down those fishing boats. It's going to be very tough for Beastie to finish this off. He's only got the 1 villager left over here. Does make it out alive, but at the same time, Marine Lord's really hindered Beastie's fishing eco over here. Not quite able to gather at the moment. Beastie having to commit some more workers to this, so ultimately having to sacrifice probably more gather time overall, and even risking a worker, which will... Oh, he's going to lose 2 of them, so right now this is looking very good for Marine Lord. Bearing in mind Beastie, it's all on the line here because he has to win this game and the next to take the series. Marine Lord only needs to win this game, because they are at 3 for Marine Lord and 2 for Beastie. It looks like Beastie finally able to finish that off, and now he can be a bit of a pest to his opponent's water economy. Marine Lord now even looking to do the same, try and bring down the dock. We'll get one of the fishing boats there as well, so pretty neck and neck here, but Marine Lord still has slightly more worker pop, while Beastie is slightly more army pop. Beastie trying to commit to a second dock here, but he's also got to be very careful. This villager is low, and the defender is outnumbered there, so that Donso got to get the fuck out of there. Fishing boat falling, and these others are all probably going to fall not long after here. Looks like Beastie's repelled Marine Lord, but at the same time Marine Lord dealing pretty similar damage to his opponent over here, committing to a second dock as well. So our players denying a pond each, taking a second pond each. At this stage, they are looking to age up. Imperial Academy there. I suppose the official is able to actually collect enough tax to get Marine Lord through this in terms of the gold gen. I didn't think of that. And I mean, normally you wouldn't have the time to get 200 gold worth of tax out of your wood line and age up at a reasonable time, but considering our players have had to field about 15 spearmen overall apiece, as well as all the fishing boats, it has meant that been able to squeeze in the Imperial Academy without actually having to gather off the gold veins. Although Marine Lord probably needs to look at supervising, which he will do, because it does give you that nice bonus drop off. Or if you've got a supervising military building, you actually get faster production. Both our players going for this central pond here. Looks like Beastie is going to be forced off it, but he's also going to force Marine Lord off this other pond towards the top side. So we've got the Imperial Academy versus the Mansa Quarry. And ultimately both of them are just going to be like a gold steroid, really. This just means, you know, units trained and villagers dropped off to a gold tick of 2 rather than 1, while the Mansa Quarry is just going to be a flat 75 gold or stone a minute generator. And the stone might be useful because it could mean getting access to arrow slits on these towers, which means they're not so useless when they haven't got anything garrisoned in them. You know, suddenly sending 10 spears like this means that a couple of them are going to get picked off. And a junk in the center of the map here is going to be very handy for Marine Lord. Beastie's going to be careful walking past here because he will take area damage. And he does drop 2 Donso, take a tiny bit of splash across the rest of the army. At the same time, that single Donso is going to make it hard for this fishing boat to head to the shore, and on top of that, can't really send a villager up. Well, I mean, when the Donso is that low, you actually can, because the villager will kill him in 2 hits, or even 1 hit. But if he parks a full health Donso or two there, it becomes impossible for Marine Lord to get back on that water. There's still nothing over at these outer two lakes for the time being. $40 gold exactly. That must be annoying for Marine Lord because that's actually the perfect amount for an official to drop off. It's just that walk distance probably means it's not really worth it at all. So Marine Lord able to defend the mill, but I think he's a little bit late here. He's probably not going to want to send a villager up to repair it, so he's just going to let it go. Beastie already able to take up to Castle Age here, while Marine Lord still in feudal for a while. Gonna have a slight military advantage here. It's actually up in terms of his work account as well, because I mean he's managed to actually save one of his docks and continue to actually add docks here. No, he saved two actually and added a third. So the food eco of Marine Lord really solid, and gonna be able to invest in his Barbican. This will actually hold up his Castle Age, but it does mean he can defend one of these gold mines and the hunt. So Beastie ahead in the tech curve, but behind on the eco. Be able to produce archers for cheap en masse here. This is really nice for Marine Lord because really he's got the three closest water lines to closest shores to himself, while Beastie at the moment really doesn't have a water eco at all, and his barracks is going to fall. Although now with that Fremba garrison pushing out those 5 archers, it does look like Beastie will be able to turn this around. He's only down by 1 military pop overall. And with the range damage of the Donso up against, and with the archer advantage, it becomes quite tough for Marine Lord to stick around and fight that. But I think the damage is done in terms of to that outwards barracks, so it's going to fall. So Marine Lord now in Song Dynasty as well. His village production is going to be very quick, but I don't think he's got the time to fuck around and go for a second town center. He's just going to commit for the clock tower. Get that Castle Age as quick as he can. Beastie, this is a bit of a risk, but at the same time, these guys have the micro to pull off something like this. Making use of a mix of the Donso spear throw and actual archers to take down the junk. Although, is he going to commit to bringing it down? Yeah, he will. Just trying to split up those archers as best as possible, but the demo ship getting a couple of kills there for Marine Lord. And he's going to commit to a second. They are pretty expensive. They are, what's that, 160 resources? So you pretty much need to get 2 unit kills at minimum. But killing 4, that's sort of the worth of 2 of them. So Marine Lord's Castle Age finishing up now. But it looks like he's going to have to replace the dock. Beastie going to want to retreat here because he can't just fight into the junk plus the army. And now Beastie actually going for an MM. He wants to try and pinch that relic. If he can do so, he can hinder Marine Lord's gold. Let's actually send a single Donso over here just to keep an eye on things, just to make sure Marine Lord's not boomed up to 4 docks. So clock tower, I don't think it's been of any use just yet for Marine Lord, who's just adding palace guards for the stage. Beastie now has enough archers, he's got veteran upgrade, and he's got ranged damage, so he's able to take out that junk pretty easily. And even pick off the demo ships before he's got to worry about those. Running headfirst into his army. But things are slowing down for a bit now. Beastie's just keeping tabs on these 2 Topside lakes. Not so worried about this one because there's not a lot left on it. Now he's attempting to try and pinch one of these more distant relics, and I think Marine Lord's aware of this. That's likely to be happening, so he's sending 3 archers up. Beastie cleaning up another fishing ship there. Marine Lord just running the archers around because he wants to make sure he can catch this imam. He doesn't know exactly where it is, but he'll be able to see. Oh, no, actually. No! Marine Lord, what are you doing? Not quite able to pick it off. Beastie very lucky with that, really. Although in saying that, the wolf will eat this guy for breakfast unless the Donso comes to help him out, because they don't actually have an attack. But this harass from Beastie is really paying off. Marine Lord just popping out the 3 garrison fishing ships and not able to garrison them back inside in time there. So Beastie just closing that eco gap a little. Oh, but Marine Lord this time he actually will catch the imam. This is next level. You're gonna do it. Or maybe not quite. So Marine Lord will get the imam. This is going to force Beastie to have to use another one of his imams here. If he's still got them. Oh, here we go. He's got another one trying to sneak around to grab... Where's it going? The relic's all the way over here, isn't it? I don't believe Marine Lord's actually gone for a monastery yet, so... There we go, Marine. Sorry, Beastie's going to grab the relic there. Taking him up to 4, which is great for Mali. Particularly because they can produce any unit with gold. In batches too. Beastie's going for the sacred too. It's tough for Marine Lord. He's only got 1 relic left to actually get control of. It is on his side of the map, but even still, Palace Guards should be reasonably solid against the archers, but in saying that, they are outnumbered very heavily. Good control by Beastie, trying to micro the veteran archers as best as he can here. So it's some really good kiting. These guys don't have any front line for themselves. And against Palace Guards and Horsemen, it's a bit of an uphill battle here for Beastie. But in the meanwhile, he is still producing and now getting a bunch of Sofa at home. So he's eager to try and clean up that water eco of Marine Lords. He's getting as much value out of this fight as he can here. He's going to try and wall this all off. I've been saying that Marine Lord is going to clean up his force there. These villagers are going to have to get working pretty quick here. Safer. Keeping tabs on the gold mine, but... Oh, here we go. He's going to go onto the berries now. Marine Lord with a small worker count lead here at the moment. Beastie still up in the military. Nesta B's very strong unit, particularly when produced from the clock tower with that bonus health that they get. And obviously it's not going to help their damage, but it just means they're a little bit less easy to try and snipe. So Beastie with his control of the sacreds. Oh, he's not actually gone on that bottom sacred just yet. Just interesting. Marine Lord just looking to defend a dock that no longer has any fishing boats at it. Beastie perhaps overcommitting here with this little army. Ah, here we go. The rest of his composition's here. Sofa going to beeline towards the nest of bees, while the army of Marine Lord is going to try and collapse on top of his own siege, just to reduce any damage being done to it, so he can really rain on the parade of Beastie here. There's more defenders in the mix. I mean, more attackers in the mix, sorry, but Beastie, Marine Lord going to commit to a second town centre here. And I mean, he's in Song Dynasty, so this is going to be quite useful for him, because Beastie, one town centre at 20 villagers, one villager per 20 seconds. Well, Beastie's going to, Marine Lord's going to have one every 15 seconds out of 2 town centres, so he's really going to rocket ahead in the worker count here. Really help make up for the fact that, and Beastie trying to send an imam to try and grab that last relic, which looks as though Marine Lord has already grabbed. That nice worker lead that Marine Lord will be going for here, especially considering he's lost a lot of his water advantage. So I mean, he can really boom up over his opponent. And Marine Lord might be hoping for a repeat of what happened in the first game of the series, where Beastie, with a smaller eco and much bigger but lighter army, was not able to finish things off. Beastie going to prevent this wall off here. This could be crucial as we go forward, because it's going to mean Marine Lord's got to send more over here to get this up, and on top of that it could, delay the gathering of these resources over here. Marine Lord snatching a sacred. Beastie's grabbed that bottom side sacred now. He'd forgotten and I pointed it out, and then he's grabbed it and I've forgotten about it. Beastie just running by the berries, but they're already all finished now. And on top of that, with a mix of crossbows and spears, it's going to be hard to get these guys out of here. Things will slow down for the minute. Marine Lord trying to wall himself in. Beastie, a bit more of an open base here, really only just walled at the waterline there. And it's not even a complete wall off now. I'm wondering if he's going to want to replace that at all soon. But at the moment, Beastie looks to be in the driver's seat. He's well up on military production. And I mean, Marine Lord has the advantage of the siege count. But I think that's only going to run for so long here, because Beastie just being able to produce out of normal siege workshops. Marine Lord obviously still can, but having the clock tower, it sort of means you always want to only produce siege out of it, just to make it take advantage of that bonus health that you'll get. And I mean, as strong as Nest of Bees are, as much as they are the biggest pest in the game against foot units, like infantry, without that bonus health from the clock tower, they're also one of the easiest siege to pick off. So Beastie simultaneously trying to capture a sacred and neutralize one. He'll still have to look at bringing another imam over here, or even bringing the one from over the top sacred down to here to actually capture that back. But at least he can deny the gold trickle, but it looks like he will get denied just in time, which is perfect for Marine Lord, because it's obviously just going to regenerate. At the same time, not so perfect for Marine Lord, dropping 2 horsemen, trying to catch the imam, but Beastie was ready, picked them off. Now with a complete wall off, it's going to be hard for Beastie to try and find somewhere to engage here, but at the same time, he's got the map control, and the slight lead he needs to be able to go for this Imperial Age behind all this. Oh, in fact, there is even a gap in the wall there. Man, imagine if Nest of Bees dealt friendly fire. Like, those villagers would have been toast. Just imagine it, dude. When Marine Lord pulling back the villagers, and he can honestly just garrison them in the Barbican. Or the sofa. Diving to the back of the farms there. Marine Lord putting a defensive keep at the back of his base just to protect his farms. This beastie has cut a hole through on the gates and he just wants to bring the pain now. He's up by about 60 army population. If he can take out the Nest of Bees here, it's going to look very rough for Marine Lord. It'll be almost impossible to come back here, even with that small worker lead that he's got. Because the army lead is just too significant now for Beastie. In saying that, all these clumped up archers, the Nest of Bees could be having them for breakfast. The key word here, could. Beastie still staying at about double the military population of his opponent through this, and a lot of idling here for Marine Lord. A couple of Nest of Bees on the way. And Marine Lord able to hold on. Beastie with just not enough to deal with the Nest of Bees, I think. Well, I mean, in saying that, there's just so much infantry that it's hard to surround the Nest of Bees. There's enough palace guards. The archers can't just cost effectively mow through everything. And ultimately, Beastie's 100 pop army there gets repelled by about 60 pop. I mean, by about 40 pop. Although I do think Marine Lord actually lost quite a bit defending there. Nest of Bees, quite a bit more expensive than the infantry. On top of that, having to fight with villagers, having to idle a little bit, having to replace all these walls. Marine Lord is up in army value and is definitely up in kill value at the moment, but even with that worker lead, which is pretty insignificant now, it's only fairly small considering the Song Dynasty and second town center advantage that he's got. You know, and the relics favoring Beastie as well. Sacred sites favoring Beastie. I think Marine Lord is still at a bit of a disadvantage here. I don't think it's an unwinnable situation, but it's definitely very tough. Gonna run by with the palace guards. Gonna prevent the wall off here, but the sofa are actually pretty good at dealing with them. Very strong in melee to melee combat against non-knight counters. So the palace guards just trying to make a run for it and try and interrupt as many workers gathering as possible here. And it gives Marine Lord a bit of an idea of what Beastie's base looks like, what he's got left in terms of resources before he needs to start moving out further and further towards his opponent. But the palace guards not going to even be able to clean up these villages over here. So Beastie safe and sound. He's also not looking to push any further on that right side just yet. We will try and mine out some of this gold here. A lot of Nest of Bees here and a couple of Springles to help defend them too, but Beastie already has access to Culverin, so I think these slightly outranged Springles, they definitely outdamage them. They're like a later version. 12 tiles range versus 10, yeah, they do outrange the Springald, so more Culverin production here for Beastie. Marine Lord for the time being, well, he does have the resources to go to Imperial, but he also wants to make sure that he's got enough to hold on here, because it's sort of pick between Imp or actually survive here for him. Gonna try and quick stonewall a segment here and go for Great Wall Gatehouse over the top. But GG, Beastie takes it to game number 7, locks up the scores at 3-3. The Great Wall Gatehouse not quite finishing off there. Well played.